I just got the NordBench Pro from Nordstick, and this thing is insane. So Nordstick has been advertising this thing as 9 pieces of equipment in one, and I don't want to call them out in public, but it's at least 11 pieces of equipment in one. If you really want to level up your posterior chain, meaning the low back, the glutes, and the hamstrings, you've got to be training Nordic hamstring curls, and there's a lot of different ways you can modify these. The main reason I wanted this piece of equipment, so full-blown version, got the Nordic hamstring curl. A great way to build up to these in a prerequisite is to do a slow eccentric and assist with your arms on the way up, like about 3 sets of 5 to 8 reps. I can just hear somebody in the comments now, it's like, but is it stable? It's so compact. So for when you're doing Nordic hamstring curls or the exercise we're talking about next, check this out. You just extend this bad boy out, a ton of extra support, and this is where they really went above and beyond. Now you got a dip station to use at home. I'm about 180 pounds and this thing is super stable, but let's go a little bit heavier. 20-pound vest, so 200 pounds. 0 issues. 20-pound vest, 180 pounds of raw American steel, 50-pound dumbbell, 250 pounds. Let's see how it does. No problem. No matter your fitness level, you need to be training 45-degree back extensions. Another great one for the posterior chain. We just break at the hips, extend, squeeze the glutes. These are another great prerequisite to build up that strength on the back side. I like 3 sets of 15 to 20 reps. And if you need to make them more challenging, you can just grab a 10 or 25-pound plate and hold it against the chest. They also put this little divot in that top pad, and your hip sits in there comfortably while you're doing QL raises. It's for everything. This is wild. So they have this bar, and I like to flip down these little legs, and we'll talk a little bit more about those later. But I can jump on here and get an absolutely filthy bicep pump. I've always wanted to figure out a way to do preacher curls at home other than single arm on the incline bench. And now I can finally do these at home without having to go to the gym. So now I basically feel like I have a complete gym in my garage. I mean, come on now. GHD Situps. I don't think y'all are ready for this. Y'all got the slant board for heel elevated squats. It's a great way if you're lacking ankle mobility to kind of work around that in the squat, and by elevating the heels, we're better able to isolate the quads. Hold up, wait a minute. Banded, heel elevated front squats. Come on now. Pop that step up. Got these little legs for extra support. We got lateral step downs. Great way to train that musculature around the knees. And then we can do those forward facing step downs. We're able to strengthen the quads. You can do these both body weight and with added resistance from the bar, with the band, or with some dumbbells. This is where things get really wild. Holy smokes. We've got the heavy band for deadlifts, RDLs. If you're feeling very strong, bent rows, regular standing bicep curls, front raises for the delts, and even overhead press. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm just curious. For some overhead tricep extensions with the bands. Y'all, this would be epic for a burnout at the end of your upper body workout. We can even do seated rows. This is so cool. Obviously, you've got different sizes of bands, so you can go lighter, high rep, or throw on one of the really hefty bands for some lower rep, heavy sets. I've always felt like for me when doing Bulgarian split squats, that using my normal bench, my back leg was just a little too high and it didn't feel natural. So they even have this set up for Bulgarian split squats. Check this thing out. And you've even got 2 different options for comfortable hip thrusts. You can use that setup that you hook your feet in on, or you can spin it around and use that top section where you would do dips. I like both. Either works for me. Also, if you're not quite ready for the Nordic hamstring curl, which I think is the hardest version of that exercise, you can also do a glute ham raise. They made this section on the pad where it curls down a little bit. So if you extend the pad out and your knee falls on that curve, it allows you to gain a little bit more momentum, and your knee kind of dips down as you pull up, making that exercise a little bit easier. When you begin, you might start at one of the highest degrees, making that exercise much easier. And then over time, we can lower as we go until you eventually end up parallel to the ground. I didn't see this listed on the exercise guide, but I just wanted to try it as a modification. So we've got all of the banded options for a myriad of exercises. If you're wanting to work on your Nordic hamstring curl or glute ham raise, check this out. You could throw a band on there, almost like you're gonna do a press, down, up, and you get a little bit of assistance. Y'all, this thing is sick. The Nordstick NordBench Pro is absolutely insane. It's over 11 pieces of equipment in one. If you were to buy all these pieces of equipment separately, it would cost over $2,400, and this is much less. I can think of at least 20 exercises you can do with the NordBench Pro. Highly recommend you. I'm going to put the link in the description. Check this out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and subscribe for fitness. Y'all, thanks for watching today.